Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite team in the Bay Area. And the prodigal son returns. William Eklund joins the show to talk about his last season with Djurgården, playing the World Juniors, and then kind of his expectations going into this season. And talks about his good friend Jonathan Lekkerimäki. So all that and more on today's episode of Locked On Sharks.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, JD Young, contributor to San Jose Hockey Now and Fear the Fin. Of course, I want to thank you guys for making us your first listen of the day. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts. We do this thing Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. And of course, on YouTube, so you can check me out there as well. Go ahead and subscribe. Got new content coming out, like I said, Monday through Friday. But today, San Jose Sharks forward William Eklund joins the show again to kind of talk about kind of how his season went last year, what he learned, just kind of going through, going back to Sweden and kind of the tough season that they had. He makes, an official announcement on his World Junior status for this August, and, kind of talks about, his connection with Bordeleau and stuff. So without further ado, William Eklund. And now we bring in the one and only William Eklund. William, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Not doing too bad. So really appreciate you coming back on. This is your second time around. So apparently the first time when Kyle and I grilled you, it wasn't the worst thing in the world that you were actually willing to come back. So, but yeah, so today we kind of wanted to go through, you had a pretty, I'd say weird year, but last year with going back to Djurgården, we talked to you right after you went back. But I got to ask, how would you sum up your last season?
Yeah, I think as a whole, I would say it was, like you said, it happened a lot of things. Mm-hmm. A lot of things that I something I couldn't control with the World Juniors and stuff, going back there. And also, of course, a nice starting of the year, playing with the San Jose, and then got sent back to Sweden, and then the World Juniors and cancel, and going back and forth. It was I could feel in my body who I didn't like. I felt like it wasn't recovered as well as before, and I think that our team last year didn't accomplish what we wanted to, and I wanted to accomplish a little bit more too, and that was I want to show this year.
Yeah, I would say you probably didn't have the statistical season that you wanted to last year. But what were some of the positives you think that you kind of took out of that year? Especially you were playing kind of third line minutes. Maybe you weren't playing kind of that top six role that you're used to. What was kind of the biggest thing you took out of it?
I had to, our team didn't play that good, and I had to, find a way to get through it right there. And it was some tough moments that I wasn't used to, and that our team wasn't used to, and it was tough for me to see my childhood team go through that. And I'm not used to that with the fans and everybody around. So yeah, of course, was like a tough year that helped me get through it, and mentally I got stronger. I think way stronger than before.
Yeah, going through, like you said, it's your childhood team. So I guess it hits home a little bit differently, where it's like you kind of grew up rooting for this team. And then, of course, they got relegated last season. One, how much does relegation suck? And, kind of what did you learn from that whole process?
Yeah, I think it's like one of the worst thing you can go through as a hockey player, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Get relegated with your team, and especially it was my shadow team that I played for before, since I was 10 years old, it was tough. It was real tough, and I had to fight through real strongly to get through that.
You haven't heard from Dahlin yet, or have you picked up the phone when he's called you yet?
Yeah, we had talked a little bit. He's not saying anything about it, so it's been good.
Good guy, Dahlin. That's good to hear. So let's go into something a little bit more positive. So you got invited back to the World Juniors roster. Of course, World Juniors got canceled. You're starting to have a pretty solid tournament. What does it mean for you, kind of representing Team Sweden? I assume you're going to play. Have you been told that you're going to play, or what does it mean first, I guess, to represent Sweden?
Of course, it's always a pleasure, like, to be there, and it's an honor to play for your country. That I think I speak for every guy who's playing any sports. And it got canceled, and last tournament was a bit strange with that and the COVID situation. I think this one would be more controlled, and they would have a control of the situation, and that would be, I think, a way more funnier tournament to watch this time.
Do you prefer the yellow sweaters or the blue ones? Because me personally, those yellow ones are like iconic, and I've been trying to get a hold of a yellow Team Sweden jersey. But yeah,
are a fire. So
yes, they're so good. Just hockey in general like needs more color. I mean, the like we're with the Sharks, at least we're teal and stuff, but there's just so many like blues and reds and stuff. Like hockey just needs more color in it. And yeah, seeing those nice like bright yellow jerseys on the ice, it's great.
Yeah, it is.
Are you going to be playing? Have you been given the go ahead to play, or is it leaning that way, or you're not allowed to say yet?
Yeah, I'm going to play. Yes.
You heard it here first, people. All right, guys, before we continue with Eklund, we'll talk about his connection with Bordeleau, talk about the draft. Take a quick break, talk about our friends over at BetOnline. You guys know BetOnline, your number one source for all your betting needs and sports information. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including Major League Baseball. You've got 2 tours in golf, so they've got you covered there. Boxing, MMA. You've got NFL futures that are already on there. You can even bet on who you think is going to go different places in the NBA free agency. So BetOnline's got you covered in all that stuff. So head to their website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. And we got to talk to you guys about a special just for Locked On Sharks listeners. 10athletes.com. You can finally settle the debate amongst your friends on who the best athlete is. 10athletes.com is a formula that rates you 1 to 10 as an athlete in over 300 sports and games that you play in real life. So simply create your own athlete profile and start submitting your game results. So if you go out and play golf with your friends and you beat them, you go on there, you put that you beat them. And then it keeps track of that with personal stats, sports rankings, athletes rankings. You can, with your friends, you can find out the best in the backyard, the block, or even the world. So 10athletes.com has become the social network for playing sports. Accounts are being created every day. So get your favorite username while it lasts. So again, head to 10athletes.com, find out how good of an athlete you really are. Are you athletic enough to hold the coveted title of best athlete in the world in their rankings? Join their athlete network, play sports, get ranked all for free. From 1 to 10, how good are you? 10athletes.com, where fun must be always. Of course, like that's kind of a lot of hockey, right? Because you're gonna have development camp in a couple of weeks, and then there's the World Juniors, and then training camp. Are you worried that it might be too much hockey? You might get burnt out, especially going into what we're hoping is an 82 game season with the NHL.
I think I'm gonna be prepared. I know I'm gonna be prepared. And had a long off season here, and been working on some stuff off ice and on ice. So I think I'm more prepared this year than I was last year with a short off season last year. And this year I have much more time to prepare my body for. Like I'm working to play 82 games with the NHL team, and that's my main goal this season. And and that's what I'm working for.
Are you in the quote unquote best shape? I don't know if you have like your tropes of like, oh, they're in the best shape of their life. Are you in the best shape of your life right now?
Yeah, I really think so. Actually,
the next one is how much muscle have you added on pound? Like, yes.
I don't know in pounds, but I think like 3 kilos.
Okay. I got to do
Like,
the math here on that. Yes.
Yeah. Around 85 kilos, 84, 85, somewhere there.
Okay. Good. Yeah. I mean, I assumed you learned a lot just kind of in that 9-game sample size of playing, like what it actually means to be in the NHL. So, and of course you're a little bit slighter guy, just, natural, but that doesn't take it away. But like, how much do you think like adding this muscle and the, to your frames can help you this year?
I think it's gonna like help me to take some hits more, not just like avoiding them too. I had to be able to take them sometimes too, and in that way, I think it's gonna help me, in the corners too and stuff like that, not to get run over, and know how to take hits and keep going.
All right, so I got to ask about another guy who's probably going to be playing in World Juniors, Thomas Bordeleau. So it seems like you guys have a little bit of a connection. I think after you scored your first goal of the season last year, he tweeted out, kind of like saying like, "Don't let this guy get hot." What's have you guys kind of talked a lot? Like, kind of what's you guys' your relationship?
Yeah, I've been talking a lot since last dev camp when he was there and I was there. Just chatting a little bit on Instagram, Snapchat, and stuff. Just keeping in touch, talking a little bit about like World Juniors and stuff, and the season coming up, and we're both very excited to come into this season. And I think it's gonna be fun with like young guys coming up now. I think that'll be great.
Yeah, did you get a chance to watch kind of any of his? He got a couple. I think he got like 8 games at the end of the season, and you could really kind of see just how dynamic it is. Have you thought about like, man, if we're on a line together, it's just gonna burn down the NHL?
Yeah, like you. I think we had a pretty good chemistry when we played in dev camp, and seen a couple games, just some highlights and of his games, and I think he did really good. I knew we was gonna do really good because he's a great player, and I really hope that we get to play with each other sometime.
Oh man, that's what I'm hoping for. Just let the kids play. You guys go have fun out there. So yeah. So you kind of talked about your goal. You want to play, make the Sharks, of course, and play a full 82 games. Do you have any other goals for this season? Like what is it? Just like I want to make the Sharks. That's it, or like have you thought about like scoring that first goal, or kind of what's your going into this next season? Like
if I'm my main goal is of course to play at 82 games with the Sharks plus playoffs. I want to, if I'm with the team, I want to bring us back to playoffs because I think that's where the Sharks belongs, and like that's like I think the only goals you can have really with your team and your personal effort, and then of course you can hope for your personal stats and stuff like that. But I think if your team plays well and you are on the team and we get a group together, that things comes with that.
That's fair. Yeah. I know the Sharks fans, we've been kind of itching for playoffs again. It's been 3 very long seasons without the playoffs, and yeah, did you get a chance to watch much of the Stanley Cup playoffs? Or I know the time differences are weird, but did you get a chance to watch much of it?
Yeah, sometimes in the weekends you wrap a little bit and watching those games. So it looks fun.
Yeah, it's there's nothing like, even as a fan, there's nothing like playoff hockey where it's just you live and die by every shift, and every game feels like the end of the world when you lose, and every game where you win feels like, oh my God, this is the greatest feeling ever. We as Sharks fans would love to experience playoff hockey again. It's there's nothing like it. God, I can't wait. So did I want to kind of ask you a couple of questions about the draft? Of course, Djurgården, you guys have 4 potential first or second round draft picks. And then, a lot of, I don't know if you looked at, like, if you kind of keep up with the draft or look at the mock stuff, and, Jonathan, is it Lekkerimäki or Lekkerimäki? I guess is the first question.
I say Lekkerimäki.
Lekkerimäki. Okay. He's been mocked to the Sharks, quite often. For our Locked On Sharks or Locked On podcast, network podcast, I mocked him to the Sharks. Have you thought about like playing with him, on the Sharks?
Yeah, like that would be so fun because he's a great player. He's a tremendous shooter. Got a chance to play with him a little bit this year, and think we did well together. I think we played like really, really good minutes, and he's. I think the scouting team is gonna do a real good job and being a really good player to the Sharks organization.
Have you been sending Doug Wilson Jr. clips to be like, hey, just imagine this on Teal for like the next 10 years, dude? Like,
yeah. Maybe I have to now, but I know they would do a good job there.
I mean, they drafted you, so of course they do a good job, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, have you, kind of talked to these guys about like the draft process, especially since I know last year's draft process was a little bit different, but have you talked to these guys about the draft process and what to expect and stuff like that?
Yeah, like a little bit. If they have questions, I'm always like open to answer them, and always like maybe asking them a few things, and if they want some help, I'm always there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. How we've been talking.
Good. I know, and you assume those guys are gonna be the guys that kind of, you have Ogren and Oslin and Lekkerimäki, and those guys are gonna be the guys that are gonna bring Djurgården back to the SHL next year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They have a lot of responsibility. All right, guys, before we finish up with William Eklund, we talk about his how his summer plans were, what he's going to do the rest of the summer before the season starts. I want to take a quick break and, of course, tell you guys about the Locked On NHL Draft. So the NHL Draft is right around the corner, and our team of local hosts and draft experts are breaking it down with insights and analysts for every first-round pick. So you can join me after the Sharks pick for immediate reaction to the Sharks moves. Subscribe to Locked On Sharks on YouTube for all the latest breakdowns and live reactions on the NHL Draft and more. So kind of getting some light stuff. So your summer, I know you went to Croatia. How was your vacation this summer in Croatia?
It was really good. It was, I think, a perfect timing for me in my workout program, and he had a week off there, and just with family and friends, just to get some heat. Not used to the heat here in Sweden, but it's getting hotter. But yeah, it was great.
Any other big things you did this summer?
I practice a lot. So.
That's good. Sharks fans will love to hear that. So I know you got a couple weeks before dev camp and stuff like that. Any plans to try to like enjoy a little bit of time before the grind starts?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe plan something with my family or something just here in Sweden. But other than that, I'm just ready to get this season started.
Yeah, when you heading over?
I don't know yet. That is the full plan.
You'll just get a call that says, "Here's your ticket. Please show up tomorrow," type of thing.
Yeah, like that. No, but we get a little schedule, so we know.
Gotcha. This year, I mean, you're going to be in, most likely in San Jose. Are you housing situation? Are you probably going to live with one of the guys and you'll get your own place, or kind of what's your? I guess now you have to actually worry about that stuff now, right?
I haven't really thought about the place where I live or things like that. Of course, it's like living on the other side of the world. It's gonna be a different thing. I got a little taste of it last year, but I think I enjoyed it a lot. Got some good friends there, Weatherby and all the guys on the team, Dahlin and those guys. So I'm just looking forward to anything.
Yeah, I talked to Weatherby a couple of weeks ago. He was telling him, try to be a good guy and take you out places. And I guess because he's the only one who had a car, so I guess that's another thing too, right? You're going to have to eventually, I assume, get like your U.S. driver's license and go through all that whole process. And man, that's a lot of stuff you don't think about, I guess, when you're moving across the world, right?
No, that's true, actually. I have to think about that.
Yeah. It's California. Just you'll be fine. We don't stop at stops. You just roll through the stop signs. You'll be fine. So, but all right, William, I've taken enough of your time. I know you got more training and stuff. Well, I guess it's almost bedtime for you here, but because it's like 8:30 there. But I've got you got more training and stuff to do and get ready for the season. So I appreciate you taking the time with me. If you have anything you want to talk about, the time's all yours. You want to say hi to your mom. I do appreciate her posting the Instagram stories of you. I think you were playing with, I think it was your brother. You were playing with the street hockey. You guys were, you're looking ripped there, dude. You got the nice 6-pack going. So yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, we're playing a lot of ice hockey with my brothers and friends. So it's always fun.
Yeah. So, well, really appreciate you, and I can't wait to see. Hopefully, I'm trying to get to rookie camp at some point. We'll see with my schedule, but hopefully, see you on the ice here soon, buddy.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my conversation with William Eklund. I think he's going to come in and just burn things down. He seems super motivated. He's been working out all summer. He knew he needed to add strength, and I think he's been doing that this summer. And I think we're gonna see this year he's going to come in and prove why he was considered maybe the best player in the 2021 draft. And Sharks fans were going to be rejoicing. He wants to make the playoffs. The Sharks want to make the playoffs. I think William Eklund is going to help lead them there, and he's going to throw in a Calder Trophy on top of it, and just. Yes, we're going to. I'm excited to see what he can do. So, again, I really hope you appreciate it. If you're new to the Locked On Sharks and just checking out because of William Eklund, you can, of course, find the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Pretty interactive with there. I'll talk with you guys, about a lot of stuff. So go ahead and subscribe there. You can listen if you like kind of how this went. Free and available wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Odyssey, you name it, we're on there. YouTube as well. Make sure you check it out. Again, Monday through Friday, we've got new stuff coming out. Next week, we're going to be going heavy into the draft, of course, looking at some of the big questions facing the Sharks, kind of best and worst case scenarios for the Sharks. I'm going to give my final kind of big board on who I want the Sharks and kind of put them in tiers on, of who I'd be happy with and stuff like that. So all that. And then, of course, right after the, Thursday night, right after the draft, I'm going to have a breakdown of the first night of the draft. And then Friday, I'm going to do another episode Friday night with what actually, kind of breaking out all the players. So, and then get you guys ready for free agency, which is the week after. So crazy times with the Sharks right now. We've got, and then if the general manager gets named, we're going to cover that as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed wherever you get podcasts. You can find me on Twitter at myfryhole. Go check out the Locked On NHL show. They're going to, of course, got all your draft coverage there as well. And we'll be back tomorrow. Bye, friends.